myself, I'm Jim Stapleton. It's my 40th year as a teacher. And I don't know if that's the applause like I should retire or not. But anyway, this is the 5th year of the South Hall of Fame. And I'll say it now before I introduce our principal. We've had 14,000 kids attend South over the 70 years. This being the 70th year. 14,000. Do the math. If 10% were inducted into the Hall of Fame, that'd be 1,400. If 1%, that'd be 140. I think after this year, we'll be at about 65 students, former students. So these inductees tonight, and fans and friends and neighbors, whatever. Let's give these inductees a round of applause, please. With that said, I want to introduce the South Middle School principal, Lisa Thomas.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I want to start by thanking Jim for organizing this event. All of our family and friends in the room today. Our South Middle School staff who came to support as well. Thank you all. And to those being honored tonight, it is actually our honor. And we would like to thank you for inspiring all of our future generations, our students now and generations to come. So we hope you enjoy your night, and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. What we're going to do first is we're going to present citations from the mayor, from the city council, and from State Representative Rita Mendy's office. Senator Brady, in case you're still living locally, you'll know Senator Brady. He's always everywhere. And he said he'll be here shortly, so we'll wait for Senator Brady. It's the way Mike is. So I'm going to read one citation, and then I'm going to call each of the inductees up to receive their citation. And then Phil will read from the City Council. Phil Griffin, Ward 3, and Jeff Thompson, Ward 5, are both here. As is Shirley Asack, Ward 7. I saw Shirley here somewhere also. So we have a great representation. But this first one I'll read is from the Office of the Mayor, City of Brockton, official citation. Be it known that the Mayor of Brockton hereby extends his congratulations to Mr. James Pace in recognition of your induction to the South Hall of Fame. Congratulations on this achievement. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure to present this citation to you as a symbol of my appreciation. This citation is duly signed by the Mayor of the City of Brockton on this day, the 9th of October, 2025, signed by Robert F. Sullivan, Mayor of Brockton. So, James, and when the inductees come up, if we could just make a line, we're going to get them all up getting their citations first. Sean Joyce. Oh, he's signing autographs right now. Those FBI people. Chris Campbell. James Burke. Maxine Doobie. Manny Gomes. Bob or Robert Gale. Thomas or Tom Tebow. Velma Lee. Peter Hughes. Karen Swanson, who will not be here tonight. She's on a trip. Jean Marie Buckley, will be represented by Barbara Garvey. And Paul Spillane. Sean, we have you down here. If you want it, Phil, you ready? Don't go anywhere. We got more. Councilor Griffin is going to go. So while we can make this work is the best possible process. Councilor?
I'm going to bring up Councilor Thompson and Councilor Azak also.
Beautiful. This way we've got a big group picture one time and then we
Good evening, everybody. I'm Phil Griffin, the Ward 3 City Councilor, Shirley Azak, Ward 7, and Jeff Thompson, the Ward 5 City Councilor. I want to congratulate all the recipients tonight. Good rewards for your hard work and efforts throughout life. And come to South Junior High School. Quite a lineup here, very successful people. South Junior High must be doing something right. So what I'm going to do, like Jim did, I'm going to read one citation, then hand them out to you folks. Let it be known that the Brockton City Council hereby extends its congratulations to all of you in recognition of congratulations on the induction to the South Middle School Hall of Fame. Your accomplishments make our city proud of you, and in further be known that the City Council extends best wishes of continued success. This citation is duly signed by the President of the Council and attested to, and a copy therefore transmitted by the Clerk of the Council. It's signed by the Council President, Jeff Thompson, the City Clerk, Tim Cruz, and myself. Congratulations, everybody. Kevin Cairo?
No, he's not. He's being done. Kevin and John are separate.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Jimmy Burke. Attorney James Burke. Chris Campbell.
John passed away. Kevin's going to get it from the school for me.
Sean Joyce. Congratulations. James Pace. Manny Gomes. Thomas Tebow. Keith Davison. Phil, right here. Okay, hold that in abeyance. Sorry. Robert Gale. Velma Lee. Peter Hughes.
Barbara will accept for Jean Marie.
I'm accepting for Jean Marie.
Jean Marie Buckley. We accept for Barbara. Karen Swanson.
I'm accepting for her.
Okay, I accept for her. And Paul Spillane. Thank you all. James, there you
And
go.
we're going to do one more before we begin the individual awards. We would not be here, to tell you this much, if I didn't have some great helpers. Joe Arsenal, wherever you are, raise your hand. Joe's unbelievable. Laurel Fowler. Laurel, please raise your hand. Her son Ramsey, without you, Ramsey, and Laurel and Joe, would be in trouble, and others. But reality, Kiara, you still around, Kiara, somewhere over there? She's over here, Kiara. But I will tell you this, 3 years ago, Amanda Gomez and I started a mission to help out our school as much as we could. So I'm going to read these. Or do you want to read them? I'll read the ones, and then Amanda will present them so the recipients don't have to go in. This is from Rita Mendes. Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives citation. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to, in this case, Maxine Doobie, in recognition of your induction to the South Middle School Academic Hall of Fame. Your achievement makes our city very proud. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this 9th day of October 2025 at the State House, Boston, Massachusetts, signed by Ronald Mariano, Speaker of the House, offered by Rita Mendes, State Representative. So, Maxine Doobie. Attorney James Burke. Paul Spillane, doesn't have to be last this time. Moving on up. Barbara Garvey accepting for Jean Marie. By the way, Barbara Garvey is the only active teacher from South Middle School of the Hall of Fame. The only teacher still working, South Hall of Fame. Coach Peter Hughes. Velma Lee. I have to tell everyone, this is actually the Velma Lee party. We just invited 11 or 12 other people. Robert Gale. Tom Tebow. Chief Gomes. I'm getting dizzy. James Pace. Sean Joyce. Chris Campbell. Man, this guy was a great running back. I feel like one right now. Any others, Amanda? Nothing? Beautiful. Okay, now what we're going to do is up the mark. Luz, did you get the picture of everybody? We got the pictures? Okay.
No, let's do one more.
These guys were hiding.
Yeah, they were hiding.
Can we get one more? I don't know how you can do it, but you said,
Right behind you.
oh, sorry, Mark.
Tell them to bunch up.
Oh, you want to get, we get a little closer? Coach, slide over that way a bit. No, get it. Come on over, James. You got it? Thank you. Honorees, inductees, we can take a seat and we'll start the actual individual award ceremony.
Amanda, we go in left-hand side first.
Yeah.
I got the first two. Take this thing.
Our first, Our first inductee tonight,
Yeah, probably that angle over there. Yeah.
our first inductee will be Jean Marie Buckley. She's on a trip to Ireland, so Barbara Garvey will speak for Miss Buckley.
Sorry, I'm a little blinded by those bright lights, so bear with me. Good evening, everyone. My dear friend and colleague of 25 years, Barbara Garvey, has kindly accepted to be here tonight due to my unfortunate absence. Thank you, Barbara. I'm deeply humbled and immensely grateful for the incredible recognition to be part of the South Middle School Hall of Fame. Celebrating 25 years of being part of an amazing community of leaders, colleagues, families, and most importantly, the students, otherwise known as my students, is a tremendous honor. Like you know, Jean Marie, that everyone was her student. I was fortunate to work with many professionals, starting off with Ken Cardone, Billy Devin, Kevin Cairo, who's being honored as well, Dennis Genich, and Chris O'Lanson, and more recently, Lisa Thomas, John Gosher, and John Lynch. Thank you for always believing in me, our fabulous staff, families, and students. I will always cherish many memories of activities in the classroom with my students. My heart still beams with excitement watching the students discover the need for farming via the Hunters and Gatherers activity. My favorite part of South Middle School will always remain with our fabulous students. I would be remiss if I did not mention my amazing social studies department colleagues. For many years, I had the privilege to work alongside of Joe Oxenall, Jeremiah Bonham, Miranda Davids, and Jimmy Stapleton. Thank you for support, laughter, and dedication. I'm reminded that this recognition is not about me. It is a reflection of the collective actions of my talented colleagues, mentors, and students who have enriched my life and have taught me many valuable lessons. Each day in the classroom was a gift. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to contribute to this incredible community. Thank you all for this astounding honor. I am deeply blessed. Much love and big hugs. Jean Marie, Miss Buckley.
Amanda, if you could bring over the plaque, Miss Gomez, what we will be offering to, we have the individual plaque, and then we have the plaque that goes on the wall. Each inductee takes a plaque home, and then we put one on the wall. So here's the individual plaque for Jean Marie Buckley. And then we now have the picture, the plaque that will hang forever on the wall at South Middle School. Thank you, Miss Garvey. I will speak for our second inductee. She's on a trip. It's Karen Swanson. Anyone who knows Brockton knows Dr. Susan Zakowitz. And Dr. Zach said a few years ago, you got to put Karen Swanson in the Hall of Fame. But it seems every October she's traveling. And it's like 3 years in a row. So finally I said, Karen, we're putting you in this year no matter what. Karen was the youngest and is the youngest person ever elected to the House of Representatives. She was barely 20 years old when she got elected to the House of Reps. She served the term and then she became a medical doctor for 38 years. It's amazing the talent that comes from South. And she grew up in a time, and she mentioned when we talked briefly about how she was one of those products of a very tumultuous time in the late 60s, early 70s. So being a state rep and a doctor and growing up in that time. But she always thought so fondly of South. She thought so fondly of the city of Brockton. So it's a great pleasure today that we induct Karen Swanson into the South Hall of Fame. So Karen, hope you're well. I like to keep my promises. The other night I got a phone call. And someone said to me, and I won't point out who, I'm flying back from some far distant shore, coming back home, and I'm going to be tired. Can you please let the legend speak early? So I said, we'll let the legend speak early as long as we promise that the crowd with the legend doesn't leave. So obviously I'm talking about the Velma Lee, who came to join us today. Everywhere I go, John Murphy first mentioned her name, Greg Dunn mentioned her name, Mike McGillis mentioned her name. All the great South Hall of Fame inductees have mentioned Velma. They said, you don't have a Hall of Fame until you have Velma Lee in the Hall of Fame. Well, we've arrived. Velma Lee.
First of all, I love you all. Thank you so much for everything, and congratulations to all the inductees. This is such a special, special evening, and not to. Of course, I need my glasses. So first of all, congratulations to all the inductees. Thank you all so very much for everything. I know a junior high award seems small. When I first entered 50 years ago, this may seem a small thing, but to be acknowledged in such a beautiful way means the world and is so endearing and heartwarming to me. Success isn't determined by how many achievements and accolades you receive. It's about the people you meet along the way and the many failures you endure personally in life in order to get here, and the ability and the resilience to pick yourself up, give yourself a pat on the back, and go forward. I am so grateful for all the support I had from South Junior High, aka South Middle School, Brockton High School, my amazing parents, my most wonderful, precious, immediate, and extended family, my lifelong friends, and my most valued Brockton community. I had the best time. I really. One person can never do anything alone, and I thank God I was never alone. The day before my Brockton High School graduation, my most gracious mother asked me, "Did you write your speech for tomorrow?" I replied, "No, nothing has come into my head yet. For what do you say to 1,300 plus of your peers that can never apply to all of them in the future?" I finally answered yes. My whole speech was about a smile. When you leave these premises, there's nothing more important than to greet and meet each person in every day with a smile. A smile is universal. It breaks down all barriers. It costs nothing, and it's accepted and respected and welcomed by all. Life doesn't turn out exactly as we planned. It has its ups and downs, but in this world, live each day to its fullest. Have few regrets. Do what you want within reason. Be thankful for everything and everyone every day. Thank you again so very much. I love all. Also, I know this day is about the inductees, but Jim, this is a little something for you from all your inductees.
The FBI is here.
It's a small thing.
The FBI and the chief of police are here.
Yeah, I mean, you have
If
everything.
there's anything dangerous
You
here,
have everything in it.
if there's anything dangerous, I'm just letting you know.
And don't look at the size. I didn't know, so I just wanted to. Thank you, Jim,
Our next inductee is someone I met many years ago when I was coaching basketball at Brockton High. And I gotta tell you, she had the best family. She still does have the best family. Her mom was the silent leader. Her dad was the glory hound, always at the basketball game, raising money for us to have so much success. What a great family. I remember when they lived down near South, and then they moved over to the posh West Side. But that was okay. We loved them anyway. No one's better, and never been prouder of anyone for being able to induct them today, as I am of my great friend Maxine Doobie.
Thank you all for making it tonight. I just want to extend my deepest, most heartfelt gratitude to all of you. I'm more of a behind-the-scenes sort of person, put my head down and do the work. So to stand before you all is a bit nerve-wracking, but overwhelming in the best way. South is near and dear to my heart because it aligned with a lot of the values that my parents instilled in me from a young age. And they're sitting with me tonight. They're my biggest cheerleaders, my greatest supporters, have been through everything with me, and I'm grateful for them. Melody was my very first friend in South Junior High, and we remained friends throughout this entire time. I have many other friends that I've met along the way. Incidentally, Lisa is another dear friend of mine who's now a principal at South. And all this to say that my successes are the successes of all those that are around me. They've inspired me, they have held me up when I've been down, they've congratulated me, and I am so grateful for their successes because it becomes mine as well, and they become a huge part of my family. And the best thing that I can leave you with is that when things are tough and work is work and life is life, always remember your blessings and always be grateful. Thank you so much.
Our next inductee was one I should have placed in a couple of years ago. I made a mistake. His brother got in before him. Yeah, those sibling rivalries. His brother's a great guy, but no, seriously. Our second police chief to be inducted. Think about that, one school. We don't have a police chief every day. That changes. The position has a lot of stability in Brockton. So we're very honored tonight to induct Chief Gomes, Chief Manny Gomes, the Brockton Police Department.
Thank you. Just want to let everyone know that no one was more surprised than I was when I got the call from Jim. But he had the wrong number. But I want to thank Jim and his staff. This has been really a tremendous honor. People that went to South, I just want to tell you that, I grew up here in Brockton. I went through all the Brockton school system. But no one had a bigger impact on me than the teachers at South Junior High School. We all know the teachers that played a role in our lives. To me, that was at South Junior High School. I have friendships that started there and continue today. And I just want to say what a tremendous honor this is to be amongst you. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Don't go anywhere, Chief. This is the one that goes on the wall. We got a picture of that. Anyone who watched Brockton football, generation, I hate to say a generation ago, it makes me feel old, but anyone who watched Brockton football in the late 80s knew the impact of the Campbell family. Number 34, and that great backfield that defeated everyone. I remember Thanksgiving 61-0 against Cambridge, and it was 54, I think, at halftime. They could have probably scored 150. So Brockton football was great then. But the Campbell family has been a major influence in the city of Brockton. Currently, one of the Campbells is a principal over at West Middle School. He's not as good as our Campbell. He's not as good as who we have from South. And that's our Channel 10 cameraman, number 34 himself, Chris Campbell.
First of all, I want to thank Jim and everyone for inducting me to the South Junior High or South Middle School Hall of Fame. Where are my dragons? Where are my dragons? There's nothing like a South Middle School dragon. I can name countless of people who went to South. Jay McGillis, Tom Colombo, Peter Colombo, Peter Hughes. You know, the list goes on and on and on. You know, I come from a solid family, great family, brothers, sister. I met my wife at South Middle School. I wouldn't have my kids if I didn't go to South Middle School. So it's an honor. All the teachers, anybody who had Mr. Fitzgibbons. Yeah. Mr. Fitz caught me from the baseball team. You know what I mean? I got caught. He knew me. He knew me and he caught me. But that built character. That built character. It helped me become the person who I became to be. Understanding teamwork, understanding things aren't going to always work out your way. But then there's guys like Mr. Foyka, who was like, hey guy, you don't belong in this class, you belong in a higher class. You know, he took me and he's like, okay, you're too smart to be with these kids here, you need to go down this road. But I'm grateful for everything, South Middle School, my parents, my family, because that's the foundation. Well, no matter what you think, was a family. I was playing soccer with Cape Verdeans. I grew up with a whole bunch of Cape Verdeans on the south side. Started the football league on the south side of Brockton. I love South Middle School. It's been a wonderful influence on my life. I wish everyone could have had the influence that I had from South Middle School. I want to congratulate all the inductees. Congratulations. Thank you, Jim, again. I appreciate you guys. Good night.
Mandy's the best at doing this. She's kind of down with science and Mark knows how I can. Hey, that's usually your job. That's usually your job. This is it. That's okay. Now this is okay. All right. Okay. All right. Cool.
Many of the kids, adults that Chris mentioned are in the Hall of Fame. Mr. Fitz is in the Hall of Fame. Peter Hughes will be in a minute in the Hall of Fame. He mentioned Jay McGillis. We inducted Jay last year in the Hall of Fame. So much great talent comes from South. It's really unfair in the city of Brockton. It's really unfair. You would think they'd balance out the talent so each side of the city would have a quarter. It just doesn't work that way. We let West Side have a couple. East Side, we let them stay inside the borders of the city. North Side, they can have Dairy Queen. But think of what we get. We're the Dragons. We got the cod. We got the Brockton Cafe. I mean, we win in everything we do. So, you know, Chris mentioned the great connections. I had 35 kids ask me today, saw some of them as it came in. I had 35 kids from South. Out of my 60 8th graders asked me if they could come and work tonight. 35. And that's amazing. Hopefully they didn't fleece you with too much money. Hopefully, we got to do a 50-50. I hope they have that number. We got to do the 50-50 in a minute. We'll do that. But anyway, our next inductee, I have to tell you, I asked him a few weeks ago. Talked to him this summer a few times. People told me how great he was. And I said to him the other day, you got to tell me your best achievement. Tell me something about your life. And he says, I don't have any achievements. And then I got to tell you this. He played 3 years of minor league baseball for the Oakland A's. He was inducted in the Brockton High Athletic Hall of Fame. He's in the Colby College Hall of Fame. He was a board of trustee member for years at Colby College. He went and got his master's at Columbia University in business, and he spent 40 years working in the business world of New York City. Yeah, I don't have any accomplishments. I hope I didn't steal all the stuff he was going to say. But none other than Paul Spillane.
Jim, you just took my entire story.
We can create a new one.
All right, let's create a new.
We'll sing a song.
All right. So thank you, Jim, and thank you, the distinguished trustees of the Brockton community. I'm honored and humbled to receive this award. Tammy? God, it's all about teachers. All right, anyway. So I just wanted to thank you. I am absolutely humbled and honored by this award. I look at the rest of the people that you've inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I go like, wow, they are impressive people. And then I look at myself, I go, how did you get here today? When Jim called me, I thought it was a joke. I thought one of my colleagues would come out. Jim, you can say that. Everyone I've ever worked with goes, you're from Brockton? Yes. So, thank you for having me here. Well done. Anyway, long story short, I had a very mediocre career in baseball. Ed Fitzgibbons caught me from the 7th grade baseball team. So, like the Campbells, whoa. But he did a great favor to me. He taught me humility. He taught me that I'm not that good. And wow. So, South taught me a lot of things. And Jim and the faculty, students, staff, these have done an amazing job. Discover resources and growing outstanding new skills. So as I think about why I'm standing here today, I cannot believe how South Junior High School, Jim, I'm glad you changed it from South Middle School to South Junior High, because none of us 56 years ago knew what South Middle School was. But thank you. I am absolutely honored and thrilled. But there's a few things that I want Jim and his colleagues to teach our students. One is that life is ever-changing. We need to be adaptable, change. We need to accept what's going to happen. Nothing that we know today is going to be here tomorrow. You need to take chances. You need to take risks. So I played baseball. That was my great skill in junior high school. Getting cut by Eddie Fitz. You're laughing at this, aren't you? But anyway, if you hit 300, it means you fail 70% of the time, you're in the Hall of Fame in baseball. Take chances. Take risks. If you fail, you learn more than you do by your successes. And don't forget, every day is a chance to be great. So Jim, thank you and the entire staff of South Junior High, not middle school, for the great things that you do. Every day, you make the students better.
It's amazing how many times we keep hearing Fitzy's name. You know? It's amazing. Our next inductee was again an easy inductee to place in the Hall of Fame because there were so many people who spoke for him. I'm very fortunate that I have a great group of friends, and Velma mentioned it, and others have sort of reiterated it also. I've been fortunate since I started the Hall of Fame. I was just a regular teacher, whatever, doing my job, going about my business. I started the Hall of Fame, the people I've met and I've become friends with since then is amazing. The great Harvard student from Brockton, Greg Dunn, author, 4-time author on Amazon, in his last book, I get on the dedication page. He was a kid I never met until 4 years ago, Hall of Fame. John Murphy, Jose I knew, Manny, Paul, Velma, all the inductees tonight. They become like family. And it goes back 4 years of all these wonderful people I would never have met. And I just go by what Paul just said. If I didn't take a chance. The first year we did this, we didn't know. What's going to happen? Will people show? Why are we doing this? But your plaques that will hang on that hallway are viewed by the kids every day. And they know who you are. And the adults. They know when they walk down that hallway who you are. They can't wait for tomorrow. They got Drake coming in. Jason Barboza to a school event. They know exactly who everyone is. When they saw Sean Joyce coming in today, they couldn't believe it. So all these people, they know, these kids know and look up to you. That generation is inspired by you. So this next person I want to put in, again, was an easy one. My friends from that era, Mike McGillis, all them recommended, and it's an easy pick. His name, of course, Tom Tebow.
Thank you very much. I will be brief. First, Velma, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to your party. It's been very nice. Chris, is Chris still here? Chris Campbell? Can you leave? I remember Chris playing in where is he? Right here. Well, I remember I went to the old Shaker Stadium, I think they called it, and I saw you grab people all over the field. It was great. So I played football also. We didn't beat anybody like this. I can tell you that. But we had something that you didn't. We had the best looking cheerleaders ever. Playing Sergio and Velma Lee led that crew. The best looking cheerleaders ever. I want to thank you, Jim, for what you're doing. I won't go into the stories that I have about special teachers. I do. They've made a tremendous difference in my life. I went to college because of Mr. Connell and Miss Murphy, who were teachers at the high school. I have 2 children now teaching in the Brockton school system. And every day when I talk to them, they say, go make a difference in someone's life. So teachers made a difference in my life. I appreciate this recognition. It's not deserved, but it's well appreciated. Thank you very much.
Our next inductee, I think, traveled the furthest to be here. But he's traveled many places in his life. Son of a Marine and a Marine himself. Longtime Brockton Veterans Agent, Mr. Bob Gale.
Thank you, Jim. I want to thank Jim and all the fellow inductees tonight. I've got to admit, when I first got notified of this, I thought it was a prank. But South was best, is the best, always will be the best. Great memories of South Junior High. Mr. Fitzgibbons, Eugene Marrow, Larry Murphy, Mr. Collins, just a great bunch of teachers at South Junior High. George Pease and Bobo Benson, I met them a couple times, unfortunately. But great memories. It was a great period of time in our lives. And I look back, and I still have friends from South. I still have memories of South Junior High when I ride by there. We went there in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. It was just a great period of time. And I don't know if Wesley's was there when all of you went, but we used to get out of school, go to Wesley's Market. We'd go to Franzine's, we'd go to Embert's Pharmacy. It was a great period of time. And I always look back at that period of time. And I just want to thank everybody for doing this. It's unbelievable. South is best. Adios.
We gotta get there. This is the practice going on the wall forever. Bob, hop in the middle so we can take pictures. And then thank you. Next slide.
In a prior life of mine, I coached 24 years of men's basketball at Massasoit and 8 years of women's soccer. And I thought I won a lot of games, my teams. We won like about 400 games. We went to the Nationals 3 or 4 times. It was a lot of fun, a lot of work. I thought that was a lot of games. But we have tonight a coach who this coming year I think is going to win his 900th college baseball game. He's coached at Boston College, at Oklahoma. He's now at Kansas State. I was worried about him today flying in. Actually, I was worried about his geography at first because he said he was leaving Manhattan and flying in to Chicago and then flying to Boston. I had to realize, of course, it was my stupidity, Manhattan, Kansas. I was thinking, what's he talking about? But anyway, over 800 wins, a legend. He's got guys drafted in the major leagues. But talk about an impact. So that, of course, is Coach Peter Hughes.
Longevity will get you close to 900 wins. So I will tell you a story. When I was at South Junior High, my parents were called in by a teacher, and I had the luxury of joining them for this meeting, and this teacher went on to detail the reasons why my life path was headed for jail. He was wrong. He was wrong, but I'll keep the positive vibe going. He will not be mentioned in my speech. However, he made some valid points that day, that's for sure. What did South Junior High do for me? Right? It provided building blocks, value system, character traits to build your foundation. And those are the formative years, 7th and 8th grade. That's when you decide what right, what wrong is going to be for you. And it's learned in the household. It's learned at the school. I was fortunate enough to learn them in both places. Some families don't, some kids don't have those households to learn those values, and they learned them at South. Some of the character traits that were re-emphasized to me to live my life, and certainly to use in my career, were competitiveness, toughness, value education, kindness, deal with adversity, resiliency, but to value relationships. No one values relationships like the city of Brockton. Paul Splain is also very, very humble. He was my hero. My dad, he would take me to Eldon B. Keith, and I would watch Paul Splain with that helmet on, you know, and that's who I was going to be. So Paul's being very humble today. Chris Campbell, I would have never cut you, dude. Never. Hey, you got a spot on my bench today. We can talk NIL afterwards. But who are those educators that taught me those lessons? For me, it was We had some great ones. We had some great personalities. They're very close to my memory. Mr. Coakley, Mr. Bronco, Mr. Jackman, Mr. Lucia, Mr. Williams. I stayed out of those offices. Mr. Toomey was one of the greatest educators I've been around. To this day, I think about him every day because when you write correspondence, you cannot use the word get. And that's difficult. And every time you use get in one of his essays, it was a big red pencil -5. Right? And God forbid you use a preposition at the end of the sentence. I don't do any of those things since the 6th grade because of Mr. Toomey. And Mr. Fitz, right? We've all talked about Mr. Fitz. I don't over-talk in this profession. I don't use superlatives, but that's the greatest coach I ever had. He had a fungo bat from 1850. I think we had a baseball team in 1850, didn't we? But he was a true teacher. Calm, composure. He taught more than baseball, that's for sure. I get a kick out of it if Mr. Fitz was around with this NIL college landscape and he had his second baseman come up to him and say, I had a good year, you gotta give me some money, I'm gonna get in the portal. I promise you I know where that fungo would have ended up. So, Mr. Fitz, I was very lucky to have him in my life, even after middle school. You know, I've carried these building blocks, and I've used them in the people that shared them with me in my personal life, and certainly professionally. My brothers and friends, when they come to one of our games or watching on television, they always say, hey, you're really calm. Like you're kind of like this. You gotta bring the Brockton out. You gotta coach with some Brockton in you. And I'm like, yeah, I tried that my first year of coaching. And I realized quickly, right, that if I coached the Brockton way and let the Brockton come out for 60 games a year, I would have a really short career and a really short life. So it doesn't work. However, I changed. And ironically, the culture that all my programs have mirrors what we were given as a gift at South Junior High. I'm a players coach. My goal is for our players to have the greatest 3 hours or 4 hours, wherever that day, when they're around our program and when they're around our coaching staff. And you get more out of them. They give you more when they're emotionally invested in you and you're emotionally invested in them. And that's the battle cry at South Junior High. I couldn't wait to go to school. That Sunday night, you know, when that 60 minutes clock goes tick, 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 and then you get that pit in your stomach because you got to go to school on Monday. I never had that at South. I couldn't wait to get in those doors, get in front of those teachers, because I wanted to give my best to them. I wanted to please them because they were emotionally invested in me, always, and I wanted to reciprocate. So, in the end, that's how I define the Brockton way. And I coached those guys the Brockton way, but it was the South Side way. And how we learned on the South Side and how we learned at South Junior High. That's the Brockton way I went with my career. Keep doing great work, Jim. It's important work. Everybody, all the educators at South, it's important work, and it lasts forever. I do. I love people. I love telling people I'm from Brockton, Massachusetts. Very proud to be a graduate of South Junior High. Go Green Dragons.
South is always evolving. We're always trying different things. I'm holding a plaque of a program we started last year called TOSS. 25 outstanding South students. And we had a party here for them last year. Each kid got a plaque. But for the first time, probably for, I think we're the first school in the state, certainly in the county, to have a Hall of Fame achievement, but now we're gonna have our kids, the 25 toss winners from this year, going in the Hall of Fame with all your plaques. So I just want to acknowledge that. I think there have been 18 in American history people who were FBI deputy directors. I think it's 18. With great privilege, I'm going to introduce one because he's ours. He's ours. South Junior High, Sean Joyce.
The number's close. The number's close. Thank you very much, Jim, and to the local leaders that came. Thank you for spending the time. And to the inductees, congratulations to all of you. So I think as many of you know, growing up in Brockton is an adventure. And like our last inductee, I also was voted most likely to go to jail. Fortunately, I didn't end up that place. But I would tell you, I think growing up, the most impactful force in my life was my parents. Now, neither one of them attended college. And I was told that education was the difference maker. And I was told from 5 years old on that I was going to college. And can you imagine telling a kid 5 that he has 16 years of school? It wasn't a good story. But I would tell folks that education comes in many dimensions. And I think, Jim, you and other people, but it's not just in an academic setting. I think we see it with a master electrician when he has apprentices. You see it with a master plumber when he has his apprentices. You see it with my wife. I am her apprentice. I will never graduate, and I am the worst handyman that you've ever met. But I would tell you, when I look back at my time at South Junior High, Mr. Murphy, Mr. Toomey, as some of us have already mentioned, but they did create what I consider to be a great foundation. And that foundation carried me through my life. And I would just tell you, I had the opportunity in the FBI to live in many places. I was able to investigate and chase bank robbers, kidnappers, fugitives, Colombian cartels, and I was actually able to work on some of the most complex investigations that the FBI had. But I would tell you what I learned there was not only a foundation, but the strength the community brings, much like when we grew up in Brockton. And I think many of us remember the Boston Marathon attacks. Probably don't know that we actually were running an investigation globally around the world, 11 different countries, 30 different cities, on many things going on, trying to determine if this was part of the bigger plot. But what I learned there was we learned to do something different. And after we asked all the public to send in all the video, all the photographs, we actually asked them to help identify who these people were. And it was the first time that the FBI had actually opened it up to the public to help solve a crime. And believe it or not, the community shut down the website because there was so many people willing to help. And the website actually couldn't handle the traffic. And I just think that is an example of what a community can do together and what people, Jim, like you, actually bring to all the young students is that mindset of a community and how we all can give back together. So whether, when I look at education, I call it the great equalizer. So whether you're a special agent with the FBI, whether you're a plumber, whether you're an electrician, it opens doors, it can take you anywhere, and it can help you build a life that you're proud of. I would tell you, Jim, I couldn't be happier and more humbled to be part of this group. And I can't thank the teachers of South Junior High and everywhere that I think do one of the most important jobs in the world. Thank you.
I don't think anyone, when you think about one small school in one great neighborhood, sure, all the talent in Brockton runs south. We know that. We've established that. But to think would have Boston College football player / cameraman, nurse practitioner, chief of police, FBI deputy director, the humble baseball player who worked on Wall Street, Velma World, and all the people we've had tonight, all from one school. It's just incredible. I think the next person we have has to show on his plaque that's going to hang. It's the most unique picture I've seen in 5 years. He put his 1962 South Junior High baseball team picture as his plaque picture. You talk about a selfless act, about thinking that you are one of a great organization, and we all are here tonight. We're all part of the great organization of South and of the city of Brockton. But the reality, think about that humility to do that, to put your junior high school baseball team picture. That's Jim Burke.
Good evening. It is great to be here. This is really wonderful. You know what's great? Listening to the stories of the inductees. I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. They come from a small community, and that small community to me is Camp Pelican. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed growing up in Camp Pelican in the 1950s and the 1960s. It truly was a village within a community. It was safe, it was friendly, people knew each other, people respected each other. I had kind of a unique perspective because my mom actually owned a business, which was pretty unusual back in the 50s. She had a children's and women's specialty store in Camp Pelican. It was at the corner of Market Street and Main. The building included the druggist, mother store, Alden Hardware. I'd come from Huntington School because we came home at lunchtime in those days. I would get a dollar and I would be on my own. I'd get a chance to cross 2 streets, Market Street and South Street. Then I'd go to Pease Restaurant, which was a Swedish restaurant. We had a great many Swedish members of the community in Camp Pelican with that, which right now is the Italian kitchen, by the way. That's where the restaurant is. I would have Swedish meatballs every day. I can remember life's lessons. I'll give you one of them. I was sitting at the counter and the women were just absolutely friendly and wonderful to me. And I noticed something, that when these gentlemen and ladies left, they left some money on the table. And I wasn't exactly sure what that was all about. So, I got the nerve the next day. I took a nickel and I left the nickel. Came back and the waiter said, "Jimmy, you left this yesterday," and gave me back my nickel. So the first tip I ever gave came back home. I asked Jim when I first had this opportunity to be here exactly what the criteria was for the Hall of Fame. And Jim was informed. He said you had to go to South Junior High and you had to be over 5 feet. I made it by not by much. Yeah, I put my fellow teammates on the picture. You know why? Because it was a group effort throughout my experience at South Junior High. I heard other people talk about Ed Fitzgibbons. Ed Fitzgibbons was a role model. To this day, I remember Ed Fitzgibbons. He was a coach. You know, he was a bit of a disciplinarian. He didn't really put up with nonsense, but he was also a teacher. And he was also interested in your emotional framework, your growth as an individual. I saw that throughout my time at Sally. it was an easier time too. We had rules, but if you broke them, you wound up with the vice principal. And the vice principal at that time was someone you wanted to stay away from. I can tell you lastly that in going forward throughout my career, which has stayed in Brockton, I practiced law here for 51 years. It has been a wonderful opportunity to give back to the community that I lived in, and I have tried to do that. I think that's probably something that was instilled in the mutual cooperation, cohesiveness of first generation and second generation American parents who had children, and that's who we were at South Junior High right now. And you know, nothing has changed in Brockton. It's just the same. Brockton has always opened its arms to immigrants, whether you're Irish, Italian, Swedish, French, and they still do. It's a great city, and it's going to be a great city forever. Thank you very much for letting me.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I've had very few opportunities to induct an actual student of mine. The next young man, it just seems like yesterday he was at our school as a student. And he's gone on to such greatness in his career so far, which I hope he'll tell you about. James Pace, just a special man, just a special guy. Wow, I'm honored, James, I am honored.
I brought up my cue cards, but my wife tells me I tend to drown on, just keep going and going. So I want to make sure I hit my points today. First, I just want to say thank you to, Mr. Stapleton, all the organizers of the event, the city of Brockton. I'm just so proud to be from Brockton. My family's here. My lovely wife, Ida, and my two beautiful children. I'm just really blessed to give me this opportunity to be involved with so many wonderful inductees. I think this is amazing what the city of Brockton puts together, because so many times we hear negativity about Brockton. And if you didn't know me, and you talked to me for 5 minutes, you would think that Brockton is the capital of Massachusetts. I drown on about Brockton. I call the city of champions. Come on. That's my beautiful. I just love growing up in the city of Brockton. And I always tell my son one thing is that you just have to try your hardest and never give up. And I think success is measured by 50% of just showing up. 25% is just pulling on your grit and trying your hardest. And the other 25 is intellect. So I told myself in junior high, as long as I showed up and I tried my hardest, I would get a C+. And you know what? That made me on the basketball team, so I was like, I'm here. In all sincerity, I chose my career off of being in Brockton. I internship right across the street in Brockton probation my junior year. My whole entire career, I wanted to give back to my community. And I grew up, I walked to school every day, 807 Warren Ave, past Fremont, Calamar Street. During my time, there was a lot of shootings, a lot of violence going on. And if it wasn't for my friends, mentors, the people that surrounded me, that pulled me towards the right direction, I probably could have called in with anybody else and not be here today. So my career, I'm a federal probation officer, I'm a supervisor. I get two of the both of the same worlds. For one thing, I get to give people a second chance in life. help them understand the importance of making better decisions and being active in their family. But I also get to hold them accountable because people need to be held accountable. And everybody here wants to be safe. When somebody commits a crime, they should be held accountable. And after they're held accountable, they should be given an opportunity to make change. So as an officer, I get to do that every day. And being from South, during that time, I got to learn how to be more independent. I learned my identity. I got to learn who I was as an individual. And that helped me grow. And when you see me, you're like, yeah, that kid's gonna talk about Brockton all the time. Like, you think Brockton has the best football players, best basketball players, baseball, everything. And that's just because I have so much pride in being from Brockton. I met so many long-term friends in Brockton. I live further away from Brockton. I wish I could give back as much as I want to. But there's other ways you can give back by protecting people. So that's what I'm doing now. It's an honor to be here today in front of everyone. I hope we can continue this, if I can be involved. And I'm just so happy and honored to be a part of such an esteemed group of people. So
we're proud
thank you
to
so
have
much.
I thought Brockton was the capital. Wow. I'm confused by that one, James. I wasn't sure how to do it early, but I did promise earlier in the show that Senator Brady would be here. And so what we're going to do, Senator Brady and Anna Oliver here from the school committee. So, and Tony Rodriguez also. Tony, I'm sorry, I didn't see you over there. We're going to present the other two citations that we'll do like we did earlier. We'll bring everyone up. We'll have them read them. We'll bring everyone up. Also, Joyce Asack from the school committee is here also. I see Joyce. She's been here the entire time. Thank you, Joyce. And then afterwards, if I could just say one word before we go, because I have one special request of the inductees. It's really the one thing I could ever ask, and I'll say that after. So, we'll go. Senator Brady, you want to come first, or Anna? We'll both at the same time.
Gee, stop. Are you sure?
Yes. Okay. My mother always taught me, ladies before gentlemen.
We'll do what we did before. We'll bring you on up.
Oh, good evening, everyone. I'll put my press down. I have Joyce Azak from Ward 6 School Committee member, and Tony Rodriguez from Ward 4 School Committee member. So this is a certificate is from the Brockton School Committee and Brockton Public Schools. Upon induction into the South Middle School Academic Hall of Fame, reflecting extraordinary academic and/or professional achievement that sets a positive example for future generations for South Dragon. As a Ward 3 School Committee, I represent and oversee South. It is an incredible school, and thanks to Jim for all the hard work that he has done the past 2 years, for his dedication. It's been an honor for the past 2 years to continue working with him to make sure we move the Dragons forward for the next generation to keep coming in and be proud to be a South Middle School students. Okay, we're gonna have Senator Brady speak.
For the Senate. First off, I just want to acknowledge Jim. You know, I always say this when I come to, you know, I'm a West Side kid, so I went to West Side. Kind of a little jealous about this. You know, I have to get my West Side pop. I've lived in Ward 4 for 26 years. I lived more in South Side than anything. But Jim, what he does is phenomenal. And, you know, I think, you know, I don't want to say that, you know, we need more people like Jim in the city. Because what he does is What he's done and what he's brought to South Middle School and acknowledging a lot of our alumni and creating this award and presenting this to the community is monumental. Because we get a lot of negative press, but there's a lot of positive that comes into this community, and we have to acknowledge all of our alumni from all levels. We sit in a lot of high positions, and from attorneys and judges and former police chiefs. It's across the board. Brockton's a staple. We have a movie being filmed out here. But Jim, I just want to thank you for all the hard work you do. Sometimes it goes unrecognized, but I wish there was a lot more of you in every middle school to make sure that this process is brought across all our middle schools to acknowledge all of that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just read one of the citations in essence of time, and then ask all the inductees to come up. We'll do a group picture. But we have one from the school committee first, and we'll read that, and then I'll do the one from the state senate. I'll name all the people who got the awards tonight to all come up at once.
You already read it. I haven't read it. What do you want?
Just read the certificate.
I did it. I read it already. So you have to read the top of it.
So this citation from the Senate, I know our state reps gave out citations as well on the school committee, but this official citation being known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to all the honorees tonight in recognition of your induction to the Brockton School South Middle Schools Hall of Fame, and this is signed by the Senate President Karen Stoker, the clerk Mike Curley, and myself, Mike Brady, and we've had a lot of wonderful inductees. Thank you to Jim Stapleton for all he does, and all the team members who got involved with this Hall of Fame. You are champions in the city of Brockton, so thank you for honoring all these teams. So I'm going to just ask all the names to come up and we'll do a group picture. Chris Campbell, Manny Gomes, Jim Burke, Jim Pace, John Marie Buckley, John Cairo, Kevin Cairo, I know Karen Swanson can be here, Maxine Doobie, Paul Spillane, TDUs, Bobby Gale, thank you for your service. Come on up, all of you. Sean Joyce, Tom Tebow, and Velma Lee. And we're going to do a group picture and then we'll hand out the citation.
let's have the group picture again. This time when the photographer takes your picture, make sure Senator Brady's here. It doesn't block the view.
Were you able to get all of us, Mark?
I just have two more things. Melanie and crew, come on up. We got to announce the winner of the 50-50 raffle. And then afterwards, if I could ask one favor. Melanie Rivera, you ready?
The winner of the 50-50 raffle is Bob O'Brien.
What a gracious thing. Bob O'Brien's third back in school. Thank you, Bob O'Brien. Thank you. If I could just... Oh, there he is. If I could just ask one last favor. First off, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone tonight. Give you all a round of applause. What a great group. I did notice, of course, school committee member Rodriguez and Senator Brady, they did admit to being from West. You notice they snuck in late. Okay, they know the truth, it's okay. Stephen Peter over here also, from West, right? I mean, what's going on? If I could have one favor, if all the inductees, I want a one-on-one picture with the inductees before they leave. Like I say, they're part of the South family, they're part of my family, and I want to leave you with this. The South that was great when Jim Burke was a student is still great today. He said it right. Brockton was, is, will be the city of champions, and it's led by our Dragons. We're going nowhere. But I will tell you this year, two things I'd like to keep you aware of. We're going to be making a book, student book, and I'm going to be asking many of you to also take part and write stories about growing up in South. We're going to sell a book, it's going to be cheap, you know, we're not going to be asking a lot of money. Just imagine what they're going to say in Wellesley or Lincoln Sudbury when they find out that South Junior High in Brockton beat them to a book. We did the book first. And then also, please be aware, this May, at South, we're having a 70th birthday party. we got a band, we got a food, we got a one-day liquor license, we're gonna have a ball. So Mr. Pease, Mr. Benson, none of them can get you in trouble. You can come back and have a good time at South. 70th birthday party coming up in May. I'll be in touch with all of you, but please, before you go, inductees, let me get a picture with you. Thank you all.